Hey, what's going on? It's time to roll, time to roll. Time to roll and, oh shit. Time to roll and practice this comedy stuff, man. Alright. Try to keep this low. Hopefully I won't get shut down. Hopefully I won't get shut down. I don't think I will, but and I basically was saying how it's a lot more productive to be angry than it is to be depressed. It is a lot more productive to be angry than it is to be depressed. Because we've all been angry, right? And we've all been depressed. And we've been a combination of angry and depressed. But I'm basically speaking from the perspective that you're either just straight up angry or you're straight up depressed. The reason why I think it's more productive to be angry than depressed, because when you're depressed, it just has you, or at least for me, it just has you totally docile, you know, cocooned up in your bed, just not want to do anything, closed off to the world, thinking of all the things that may go wrong, you know what I'm saying, or all the things that are going wrong in your life. And you're not really doing anything. I can't remember the quote or exactly where I heard it from, but it says something along the lines of not doing anything at all is actually worse than doing something, than making the wrong decisions. Something along those lines. It's kind of like, you know, obviously if you drive your car a lot, it'll run into the ground. But if you don't drive your car and just leave it there just sitting, it gets rust and wear and tear for not being used as well. So that's the same thing with depression. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might avoid all your, you know, immediate problems or immediate confrontation or whatever it is that you're dealing with. You know, you're trying to hide from it, but those problems and those things, they're still looming. Whatever it is that's trying to accost you, overtake you, whether it's debt, you know what I mean, or issues with people or what have you. In some instances, just being depressed and not doing anything, it could actually be more harmful. The reason why I think that, anger is being angry is better than being depressed, because anger gives you motivation. When you're angry, you feel a drive, you feel a surge, you feel some type of you feel like it's almost like an energy surge now. But a lot of people use this the wrong way, because they use this anger or whatever to exact revenge or you know, execute like some type of negativity or do something destructive. It can motivate you to do something destructive, but the good thing is, at least you were motivated to do something, you know? And you could transmute that energy, or you can use that anger to combat depression. You can get mad at yourself. Like, say, I'll give you an example. Like, say you're overweight. Like I am. I'm overweight. I'm down like 40 pounds, but I'm still overweight. I'm 5'11", and I weigh 242. That's Chris Webber weighed that in his prime, and Chris Webber's 6'9". You know what I'm saying? Chris Webber almost a foot taller than me and weighs what I weigh now. So I'm still a fat dude, but I lost a lot of weight. But anyway, if you're depressed about your weight, you can get angry at yourself for being in the condition that you are, and you can use that anger as motivation to get in the gym and work it out. You're still, you know, you're still, I don't want to say punishing, but you're still whipping your body into shape. You're doing something aggressive toward yourself, but if you stick with it, it has a positive outcome. And then once you start to get in shape, you feel better about yourself. And what does that do? Once you start feeling better about yourself, the depression goes down. But it all stemmed from you being angry. Anger can be used for good, man. If you look at, if you get down to like a philosophical level or the bare bones, they say there's no such thing as good or evil. It's just energy, and it's a matter of how you view it. what you view as good, somebody else could view as evil, and vice versa. And that's everything across the board. We go with anything that you could think of, like whatever, how crazy it is. Everything is relative depending on the perspective that you're coming from, you know? But, you know, we're dealing in terms of humanity. And, of course, there are some basic tenets like randomly killing people and accosting people and doing things of that nature. But still, there are some people or some entities or some beings who, in their mind, that's something that's positive. But I think that represents like a great minority of life forms. So, you know, I'm not talking about that. But in the instance, like I said, the analogy that I just gave you about being mad at yourself for being at a certain weight and then using anger to make yourself work out, using anger to prove other people wrong. People always making fun of you or saying you can't do this. Like a lot of people use anger as fuel and motivation to prove people wrong. And you just improving yourself. There's nothing wrong with improving yourself. So if your motive is to show people up, make them look stupid or what have you, there's nothing wrong there. I mean, and you're ultimately proving yourself, like becoming like a better basketball player, a better comic, a better actor, a better businessman. Yes, the motivation may be rooted in negativity, but the outcome is something of you being a better person. And every human being that improves and every human being that becomes a better person, you actually make the world a better place. Because every single one of us is a part of the world. So if you improve yourself, by proxy, you are improving the world. And that all stems from what we call anger. Now I'm going to go a step further. It's not even necessarily anger that I'm talking about, but that's the word that people understand. But the actual word is actually passion. You show passion towards it. The anger, it starts off with anger, like, fuck, man, I'm mad. There's people talking shit, saying, man, fuck this. I'm tired of myself. Always eating this BS and going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And eating cookies and having Twinkies and potato chips on my chest. And chicks making fun of me, because I got the pot belly, blah, blah, blah. That starts off with, hey, man, fuck, you know what? I'm tired of these people talking about how I look right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get in shape. They may still roast, oh, you used to be fat, but I don't give a fuck what I used to be. I'm talking about how I'm constructing myself and what I am right now, present moment, in this particular moment. But when you're depressed, you don't do anything. It doesn't motivate you. The only thing, depression at its zenith, if that's the right word, or at its bottom, only thing depression motivates you to do is end your life, harm yourself to end yourself, whether it's expeditiously, as T.I. would say, or whether it's over time, using drugs, alcohol, risky behavior. And maybe you just want to sit in the garage with your window open and with a water hose connected to your tailpipe going into your passenger window. You get that slow carbon monoxide death, man, you know? That's all depression does. Yes, anger can move you to do insane, crazy things like Columbine shooters and terrorists and both foreign and domestic and abuse and things of that nature. But if you have consciousness and presence of mind, and you understand that energy can't be created nor destroyed, it just changes shape and it transmutates and it transforms, you can use that to your advantage. When you get depressed, whatever it is that you're depressed about, most things on this earth we got control, like we have some type of control over. If you make it to a certain age, where you are in life is a direct result. Ultimately, you chose to be there, you know? So if you want things in life to change, then you got to start making different decisions in order to change, right? So if you're depressed and feeling a certain type of way, you can consciously be like, I don't like this feeling. I don't enjoy feeling like this. I don't want to feel like this anymore. So what are some things that I can do to help lower the depression? It could be your car was dirty for a long time. You just haven't gotten around to cleaning it. Your room was like, cleanliness has a lot to do with it, man. Your cleanliness, more times than not, is a direct reflection of the chaos and the lack of organization that's going on inside your mind. And the thing is, once you cut, because this is how it works. You might have certain things that you got to do out in the world, certain errands and and goals that you have to reach. But every time you're thinking about doing your goal, taking care of your goals, you're thinking about how dirty your room is. So you're like, you know what, I ain't gonna get that shit started because I want to clean my room first. But then you get into your room and it's a fucking total mess. So that causes more depression. So you gotta attack this shit layer by layer. You gotta get mad at yourself, like, yo, man, fuck this shit. I'm tired of being, this is some bullshit. I'm tired of being dirty, man. I'm about to get this shit right. I'm making a conscious decision, a conscientious choice to improve and elevate. And it's something that's that simple. Clean your room, organize your drawers. And I'm not talking about just surface cleaning. I'm talking about getting deep, going into every single drawer, organizing it. If you got like different cubbies and nooks, like take all the little knickknacks out the nooks and clean them out. Get behind the radiators, get inside the closet, color coordinate. And I got to do this, you know what I'm saying? I haven't done it in a while, like organize everything. I clean all the time, but I'm sorry, it's being totally organized. Because all of that is different, it's a manifestation of what's going on inside of your mind. And once you get that right, and once you get that organized, that's one less thing that you have to think and worry about. And look, your anger moved you to passion, moved you to and motivated you to take care of those things that need to be done in the house. Now, once that stuff is done, your mind is clear, or more clear. You're no longer worried about that. So you can use that new real estate, that new free real estate in your mind to attack other problems in your life. And you just build off of that. But none of that would have happened if at first you didn't get pissed off at the situation that you were in and use your anger and transmute your anger into passion, and then transfer the passion to motivation and actually transform the potential to kinetic and actually get out there and start doing things. But it all starts with anger, man. Even depression could be, to a small extent, seen as a blessing, because once you feel like those depressed feelings coming over, that is an opportunity to rise to the occasion and defeat it. Sometimes in life you need to be faced with adversity and certain challenges, and that defines who you are, how you deal with certain adversities and challenges. But I know for a fact, whenever I get depressed and I do smack myself or whatever, like, man, fuck this shit, man. I'm about to get this shit right, man. I'm tired of like letting my thoughts, my negative thoughts keep me down, man. You know, my depressing thoughts. And I'm gonna take this anger and this negative energy that's building inside of me, because negative energy and positive energy is not good or bad, but the whole point is using it to do productive things, controlling it, wielding that shit. You got the power to wield and control that shit, man. It's flowing. As long as you conscious and it's flowing through you, then how do you use it? How do you use that, man? I remember I was in college back in like, I want to say 1999, right? And there was this chick that I really, really liked. And, you know what I'm saying? I was young. I think at the time, 99, I was like 20. She was like 19 or something like, oh, this was like 2000. So no, I'm sorry. I was like 21. Yeah, she was like 19, 18, something like that. Real fine, really, really liked her, right? And I drew her portrait, and she knitted me a scarf. I was in her dorm room or whatever, but the dorms had curfews. And I'm just looking at her. She's beautiful. I'm still thinking about today. She fine as hell. One of the few chicks I was in love with, man, in my life. But anyway, I'm about to leave the dorm, and I'm like, damn, I'm looking at your lips, and I'm mad because I ain't gonna never be able to kiss them. She's like, what you talking about? You can. And we had this great, beautiful, soft lip kiss. You know what I'm saying? On a funny note, her breath was kind of, I think she had a rotten tooth though, because I could taste like her breath a little bit. But it still was a beautiful experience, beautiful kiss. And I had an intramurals basketball game, right? The energy from that experience had me feeling so good. It had me feeling so loose, you know what I'm saying? And it had me so confident. And it had my mind state just so elevated. That intramural game, that first half, I didn't miss one shot. I scored like 18 points in the first half. For an intramural basketball game, I think the half is like 20 minutes and it's continuous clock, whether the ball go out of bounds or whatever. Like, they just let the clock keep running. So to score 18 points and me, not even being like a baller, just an athlete like that, and I was hitting free throws, three-pointers, taking it to the hole, yo, I was doing everything because that experience, I used the energy from that experience, and it just made me feel good, and it just made me feel loose. Like, I know how to shoot now. I understand form, but I didn't understand it back then. But just something clicked in my head, and I was just shooting the right way, and I was wet, and I was hitting everything. So you can use the energy from like certain situations to motivate you and propel you and push you. And you can use memories of good situations to propel you and push you if you're going through some type of depression. But, you know, I'm not really giving you a solution for depression. I'm just saying like certain things that you could use to help combat it. And namely, I'm doing anger versus depression. That's something that we all will face at one point, you know, in time or whatever. But I'm saying you can use that anger. You can use that anger to do good things, man. Anger and being frustrated and aggravated had me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going to work. Like, you know what, Bumpin', I'm about to get out here and just get this money. Everybody sleep. I'm about to go out and get this bag. You know what I'm saying? But if I was leaning in on my depressed side, I probably would have stayed, because I do side jobs and I got a main job. My main job wasn't until I didn't have to be to work till noon. You know what I'm saying? So I could have easily just been like, bump it, just stayed in the bed till like 10 o'clock, woke up, played some video games or what have you, and went to work and just, you know, went to my regular job and just been stewing and depressed all day. But I used the anger. I got up early in the morning. I did some like yoga stretches to help my lower back. I found some great stretches that's helping that's another thing too. If you got like various chronic pains in the body, in the back, especially lower back, that aids to depression, man. Because sometimes, man, it's like I damn near can't even move, man. That's how bad it is. But I'm starting to learn things about myself and learn things about various muscles that I didn't take into account. I'm thinking that it's a back issue, but in actuality, like I'm thinking it's a bone issue, but in actuality, it's a muscle issue. And there's certain muscles that I don't use as much because I'm a driver, so I'm always sitting down. So those muscles, those muscles that I barely use, they're constantly being like, yo, I'm just constantly sitting down, like not working out these certain muscles. So they start to break down and fail, and they go into pain. And it's the same thing about not using your car enough. It's the same thing about being idle and docile. It causes pain and it causes other problems, and you think there's other things that's going on inside of your body, but it's something that needs to be addressed, that you're not quite addressing it. And like the pains that I was having in my back, I found out it was somewhere else, and now that I'm addressing it, I'm starting to feel better because I'm not having as much pain. Because I'm not having as much pain, that takes away the depression, it takes away the stress, and it adds to my motivation. So I did those yoga workouts in the morning, and just got up, went out, did some work, did a couple of deliveries. You know what I'm saying? And now I got back home. I worked out, I showered, cooked breakfast, and then I didn't take no nap all day until like literally like maybe a couple hours ago before it was time to go to this mic, man. And I picked up a client. My client was awesome. He was an 86-year-old guy, and I think he was 87 actually. And I was taking him to a nursing home because he was going to visit his wife. And the dude was Greek. He could barely speak English, and sometimes because he could speak Italian, Turkish, and Greek and English, and sometimes he was having a conversation. I was trying my best to understand him, but he would cycle between like the different languages and stuff like that. But I got the grasp of what he was saying for the most part. But ultimately, he was just a real sweet guy and just had great wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And it feels good to be called a baby at 42 years old. You're 42, you're just a baby. You know what I mean? Like, but he was just such a great person, man, and just taking in the old man's wisdom as much as I could comprehend. It was just a really, really, really good experience, man. You know. And all of this, me being like feeling good, you know, and I've had my down. I still had lower moments throughout this day. But overall, I started off waking up just being angry. And I used that anger as fuel to make me go out to work and make some money, work out, stretch, eat a proper breakfast, eat my vitamins, do all the things that I have control over to program myself. Like, if you do all the things that you have control over in life, and you commit to deadlines, and and get things done, and don't just put things off and get them done, I feel like almost everybody will be okay. But a lot of times we get depressed and we don't want to face whatever it is that we're dealing, and we think that it's going to go away, but it doesn't. That bill isn't going to go away. That issue or the situation that you had with somebody, that's not going to just go away. That's something that you have to be an active participant. You have to be an active participant in alleviating it. You know, nobody going to do it for you. People can help. People can see that things are going on in your life, or you might seem like you're kind of off. But ultimately, and that's a great thing if people are cognizant and empathetic and sympathetic of whatever it is that you may be going through, or whatever it is that they perceive that you're going through. But like, ultimately, you have to make the choice to improve and become a better you. And you have all the tools and all the things that if you are an adult, you have all the tools and all the things at your disposal within yourself to improve yourself. But first, you have to believe that you can do it. And I always tell people this, and I've been saying this for a long time, man. The biggest word in the word believe is lie. B-E-L-I-E-V-E. You know what I'm saying? And essentially, you just have to, even if you don't believe it, lie to yourself. I'm doing okay, I'm getting better. Keep lying it to yourself until you start to believe it. When you start to believe something, subconsciously, you're going to manipulate and change things within your life to manifest how you truly feel. You're always kicking yourself down. I can't get money. I can't get bitches. I'm fat. X, Y, Z. You keep saying that to yourself over and over again. That's the reality that you're going to accept. You're not going to try to improve. But you got to tell you, man, listen, I'm getting in shape. I'm on point. I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing X, Y, Z. I'm making moves. You're gonna start living up to that. Oh, it's good. Yo, cranberry ginger ale is great. You're gonna start living up to that, man. Yeah, man. But that's all I had to say, man. Like, for those that didn't understand what I was trying to say, sometimes I say things in poetic ways that the general person may not fully grasp or understand it, and part of that is my fault, because I'm the one that's conveying the message. So I should be able to convey the message in the way that it could be received by as many people as possible. I'm not saying go out here and be mad and punch people in the face and be so mad that it like fucks with your blood pressure or nothing like that. No, I'm saying be mad at your situation, your station in life, and use that anger to transmute to passion, to transmute to motivation, to transmute from potential to kinetic, to actually getting things done. With that being said, that's all I had to say. I will holler at y'all. Hopefully, I was able to serve as a means of encouragement, you know, to anybody that's going through some shit and trying to figure out some answers how to improve. I don't got all the answers, yo. You know what I'm saying? But from going to like a really, really low place mentally, I'm not saying I'm that high now, but there are improvements. And I actually have a game plan, and I have more of a purpose now. So if what I say could inspire you and encourage you to look at your depression and to look at your anger in a different aspect and use it in a productive manner to get things done, to shine, because we are all star children. The atoms, the molecules that compose us are the same thing that compose the stars. What the stars do shine. So the purpose in life is for us to shine. And shine is a subjective definition. Shine is whatever it is you want to believe, but it's being in a way that others in the world notice you, and they derive happiness from how you shine. Because like I said before, if you improve yourself, you improve the world. With that being said, I will holler at y'all. Hashtag everybody need more green. Deuces.